Just some good old boys, never meaning no harm. But cousins Bo and Luke Duke certainly have a way of finding trouble with the law everywhere they turn. Their adventures as the Robin Hoods of their rural community of Hazzard County lead them to wild escapes, aided by the souped-up Dodge Charger called the General Lee. The boys' nemesis is Boss Hogg, a corrupt politician who constantly sicks his minion, Sheriff Rosco P. Coltrane on the Dukes. These are story of their tales, a syndicated series, aired in 1979, ran for 7 years. Hope you enjoy. This is for you, Diecast Clown. Get well soon, my friend, and thanks for checking out my channel.
I am really quite fortunate to have this collection of Dukes of Hazzard's cars from Johnny Lightning, and correction on the copyright year, these were produced in 2007. So I was a few years early in my announcement for the introduction. I even picked up this white Lightning in the wild at my local hobby store. This was LaHaye's in Aurelia. And a lot of these cars I got at Walmart in Canada. So that was when I was living in Ottawa around 2007, 2008. And so most of these cars, if not all of them, they were bought at those two stores. I believe I even got the 1/24th scale, or sorry, 1/25th scale General Lee at a local Walmart as well. I really never paid more than about $6 or $9 for any of these cars in this collection. And if you are a collector of Johnny Lightning Dukes of Hazzard's cars of this era, you may be aware that some of these cars are quite valuable. Actually, I did buy this last one here, the camouflage Rosco Camo Cruiser on eBay, as I really was into that model. This was pre-Greenlight collecting, before there were any other Dodge Monaco or large four-door cars were pretty hard to come by in 1/64 scale diecast, other than, of course, the Ertls. All these Ertl 1981 Pontiac Bonnevilles were pretty easy to come by. The ones with the red light bar on the roof that are obviously in better condition than the blue light bar versions, these are meant to signify Sheriff Roscoe's police car, although I don't remember seeing an 81 Bonneville in the movie. Plastic base, and I think these are designed or made in Iowa, United States. Anyways, they are pretty cool. These were released at a grain feed store called TSC, now known as PV Mart here in Canada, which still sells Ertl toy cars. Pretty much the only place that's brick and mortar that I've seen selling Ertl cars, and I picked up lots of them. They really sold out of the General Lees rapidly. I was able to get one at the time. I was able to get a lot of Bonnevilles, as you can see, but only one of the re-release of the General Lee in 1/64 scale. Very nicely done with the silver pinstriping all the way around it. The antennas even painted. Chrome plastic base. And there is the base on it, as you can see. Copyright. And an original, this one would be from 1979. Not much different. Still chrome plastic base. Not as much detail as far as the silver paint goes. In fact, there's none. The Confederate flag on the roof is a sticker, whereas the later release, it was actually printed on. Same with all the Johnny Lightning stuff, of course. That's all Tampo print. And so it lasts a lot longer than what you can see here with these played with Chargers, is that most of them don't have their original sticker on the roof anymore. You can always see a little bit of a seam around it. Some of them held up pretty well considering. And same goes true for the Bonnevilles with their door stickers, the sheriff stickers. Typically gone. Oh, this one's in rough shape. A lot of stories. Most of the rough condition cars I got at flea markets or giant eBay purchases, like lots, junk car lots over the years, back when shipping was more reasonable. So that's how I got a lot of these cars. A lot of flea market cars. I'll pay anywhere between $2 to $5 for cars if they're in good condition. Well, not destroyed condition, but like played with condition. Mint condition cars would be worth a lot. I don't know what these ones would be worth nowadays. Probably more than the $3 Canadian I paid for them, since that can barely buy you anything nowadays. Boss Hogg's car is pretty hard to come by. It was also re-released. and sold in 3-packs even at Walmart alongside the General Lee and the Bonneville, but for some reason I never added that to my collection. I think they were hard to come by, and I think they were a little pricey for what I deemed was going to be around for a lot longer than it was. Can we get a focus on this car? There's the Boss Hogg. This one actually has it in paint on the side. Got the antlers on the hood, the bull horns, the antlers. This one's missing its sticker. Actually, this is a newer version, so either that, it's just in really good condition. I don't know exactly, but this Boss Hogg has the sticker Boss Hogg on the side of it. So that was the Boss's car. I'm not going to go through all the characters and what their roles were and what that is. If you like the show, then you know the show, and if you don't know about the show, well, there's resource to tell you a lot more things correctly than I can possibly do. Now, of course, I'm not opening up any of these cars. They have already been in their packaging for 15 years now. And some of these cars I don't really recognize even from the movie, but they were certainly, many of them were in the movie. Some of them not quite exactly right, like the Carnival of Thrills. What do we got here? I don't know. Torino, Ford Torino. It was a 4-door in the race in the movie, and here we have a 2-door. Some cars more accurate, like the little Volkswagen Beetle. And the Jeep, of course. Got Daisy Duke's Jeep CJ5, looking really good with the Dixie sticker and a detailed engine under the hood. And we'll flip these packages around as well. Take a look at the back, see if there's anything important. These are really the prizes of my collection, the General Lee. These cars would be worth quite a bit on the open market. And no, nothing is for sale. This is all part of my personal collection. I don't really intend to sell much, at least not for a while yet anyways. I'm still a young enough man that I've got years and years of collecting ahead of me, and quite a personal connection to my collection. Connection to the collection. This package I've actually cracked open for the very first time. So we are going to slide that car out towards the middle or end of this video. The White Lightning. This is a Stinger kind of version. The Johnny Lightning Stinger version, where they kind of jack up the back wheels and go crazy with the suspension lift. In this case, I managed to get a true White Lightning with a white painted base, white wheels, no white interior, but I'm glad that it has a tan interior. What do we got on the back here? Release number 2. You can pause on that if you want to read all the stuff, but there's a whole bunch of cars in the collection. Pretty hard collection to complete in the wild, I found anyways, as it was very popular. Uncle Jesse's Chevy pickup, also very popular. That was a pretty new casting at the time. Limited to 1 of 10,000, it's saying on the side. So there should be out there somewhere. They're just in hordes. But really, when you think about it, treasure hunts, super treasure hunts from Hot Wheels are produced in far excess of 10, 20, 30,000 even, I would say, for many of them. So it does actually, by those standards, make it quite limited. Dodge Monaco there again, patrol car. We've got a whole bunch of versions of Dodge Monaco. I believe this one was in the movie with those paint decorations. Sheriff 3. This one definitely was not. It's just like looks like a fire chief car or something. I'm not really sure. And Greenlight did do one casting. They don't have the licensing for the Dukes of Hazzards, but they did make kind of a tongue-in-cheek sort of nod to the Hazzard County with the production of these Hazzard County cars. Dodge Monaco, not all that long ago. And although they didn't make a General Lee or anything with a Confederate flag on it, they did make some of the support vehicles, including a good representation of Uncle Jesse's truck. I couldn't find it. It's probably somewhere on the shelf. But anyways, there wasn't much. That's the only Greenlight in this collection. These are all Ertl cars. And some of them are just roasted. Look at this one. Looks like it had battery acid dropped on it or something. I don't know. Rough condition. A lot of play stories to tell in these cars. And certainly survivors. These I always pretended when I was playing with them, which is still to this day, that these are the aftermath of the stunts that the General Lee has put through. And so these are all the Junkyard cars that were destroyed, basically, because there were hundreds of cars in the show that were destroyed in real life, unfortunately, for the show. But there was no special effects back then, no computer, CGI, all the rest that they do now. So, and there was no kit cars that easily available. Remember, these cars were just worn out, regular popular cars of the road that they were painting orange and sticking a flag on the roof. Same with the Bonnevilles. I mean, they were destroying those all the time. I don't know if Boss Hogg's Cadillac ever got destroyed more than once, or even if it did. I can't remember exactly. Anywho, so that is that part of the collection. Let's go in for a closer look at the General Lee 1/25th scale. One last thing I forgot to show you before we look at the 1/25th scale. I do have a Johnny Lightning General Lee opened up. I had opened this up a long time ago. Let's go in for a good look at this one because it is the nicest one I have open. And you know me, I like to be an opener where I can be, but this collection is just a little too special with all the different packaging and the story behind each one, and also the sheer value of these cars. Some of them worth in excess of $100 to this day. So pretty good return on investment for me. Not that I'm selling, so it really doesn't matter, but anyways. Nice collection of cars. Let's do a side-by-side of the Johnny Lightning and the Ertl. Scale is about the same. Definitely some nice details on both cars. A difference in the back window seems to be the biggest change. And the actual introduction of a push bar on the Johnny Lightning version versus just the chrome rendered grille of the Ertl. Keep in mind the Johnny Lightning would be worth at least 2 to 3 times as much at retail back in the day. Also all metal, of course. Johnny Lightning made some really nice all metal cars. And there again, just a comparison of the oranges of the original 1979 sticker version and this kind of like not as bright of an orange as the rest of the General Lees that we see. So we're going to move those aside. As you can see, we've got a lot of cars surrounding support vehicles here. And this is a beauty. Packaging is in great shape still. Let's see if we're going to go all the way around on these. Johnny Lightning made a lot of 1/25th scale vehicles. And there you go, a little blurb on the Classics television show. And you can pause on that. Flying cars, tumbling cars, and plenty of good old-fashioned country fun. Mostly in cars, mostly. Certainly it had a few racy scenes. Nothing that wouldn't be PG by even today's standards, I don't think. So here we go. First time coming out of the packaging. It's going to be a tight fit, and I don't want to wreck the packaging, so we're just going to be super careful here. Ooh, boy. Doesn't want to come out. Oh, okay. That's a piece. That's the end cap. That might be all we have to do to get this beautiful car. Apologies for all the squeaks and scrapes. Out it comes. Wow. Beautiful. All right, we're going to carefully put that packaging aside so we can make a little bit more room on the table. Check it out, guys. First time I've ever looked at this car. Got an opening hood. Oh, yes. And even after all these years, what's the copyright on this package here? I think it was, there it is on the bottom. 2009 Learning Curve brands. So this was at a different stage of ownership than where Johnny Lightning is to this day. Give it a little bit of a wipe there. I saw some smearage on the old chrome air cleaner. That, look at that, it still comes off even to this for all these years. There's a few little greasy fingerprints, not much. Very nice model. It's not the most detailed model. It's kind of got some toyish elements, which is just fine. These were really only about 20 bucks back in the day when I bought them. And well, I bought it, I should say. I only have one. Wish I'd bought more. Plastic base. No crazy details really, other than just molded details. Molded in parts. Non-steering wheels. No silver trim on it, although the car really didn't have a lot of trim or chrome in real life. Nice that Johnny Lightning did put the roll cage in the car. That's a good feature. It's a little bit sparse on details for the tail lights, I would say. Can we get a, can we get a, no, we can't get a focus. We're just comparing Johnny Lightning and Johnny Lightning, because really, this Johnny Lightning version, the small ones you see, they were about, you know, $5 to $10. This one was about $20. So you got that much more metal, but the quality, actually, of the small ones with the rubber tires versus these, well, these are rubber too. It's just a really hard rubber. But there were two different lines of cars completely, like comparing apples and oranges, really. As far as features and stuff like that, because they are so different. It's interesting that this orange is so much more bright, like a lighter orange than all the other oranges that were used for these cars. Did we take a close-up look at these two? Different wheels on these ones was the biggest change. The most expensive version, I think, is the Dusty version. Unfortunately, I missed that one. And it had already soared well up over $100, $150, even just a few years after it was no longer in production. So that's why I don't have that one. If you have that car, you're a lucky, lucky fella. Or feller, whatever. Anyways, this is pretty cool to see this car out and about. No, I will not be doing any stunts with my collection at this point. They've seen enough stunts already. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Also want to give everyone a huge thank you for all the support in my Freedom Convoy 2022 video, trucks with message. And yeah, it's not the regular sort of thing on this channel. Certainly not the last half of that video. But we do live in some interesting times right now. So anyways, thanks again from all of the support around the world. Your comments mean so much to me, and I'm sure to the many, many supporters of that movement. Thank you very much. Happy hunting. See you soon.